Embers forest friends. In a cozy forest, where tall trees touched the sky, lived many happy animals. But one sunny morning, a new little fox named Ember arrived, feeling very shy. The other animals, like Baloo the bear cub and Squeaky the squirrel, saw Ember. They weren't sure what to do, as they hadn't seen a fox in their part of the forest before. Ember wanted to play, but her paws felt glued to the ground. She watched Baloo trying to reach a juicy berry high on a bush, but it was just too tall for him. Baloo stretched and stretched, but the berry remained out of reach. He sighed, feeling a little disappointed. Ember, seeing Baloo struggle, knew she could help. She was small and quick. Taking a deep breath, she scampered over. With a tiny jump, Ember nudged the branch, and the big red berry tumbled down right into Baloo's waiting paw. Baloo's eyes widened. "Thank you, Ember," he rumbled, offering her half of the delicious berry. Ember smiled, feeling a warm glow inside. Soon, Squeaky joined them, chattering excitedly. She had found a shiny acorn and wanted to share it too. From that day on, Ember, Baloo, and Squeaky became the best of friends. They learned that helping each other and being kind made their forest an even happier place. And no matter how different they seemed, their friendship showed everyone that kindness is the strongest bridge of all. Sunny's Sweet Surprise. In a sun-dappled forest lived a little squirrel named Sunny. One morning she found the biggest, shiniest nut she had ever seen. "Mine, all mine," she chattered, hugging the nut tightly. She imagined all the tasty bits inside, just for her. Sunny tried to crack it open. She pushed and pulled, she gnawed and tugged, but the nut was too strong. Her little paws grew tired. Just then, Rumble, a friendly bear cub, lumbered by. He saw Sunny struggling. "Need a paw, little one?" he rumbled kindly. Sunny hesitated. She really wanted to keep the nut to herself, but her paws ached, and the nut wouldn't budge. "Okay," she squeaked. Rumble took the nut. He pushed with his strong paws, then tried a gentle bite. But even for Big Rumble, this nut was a challenge. From a branch above, Whiz, a clever little bird, chirped, "Two heads are better than one. What if we all work together?" Sunny and Rumble looked at each other. Whiz was right. Together, they found a flat rock. Rumble held the nut steady, and Sunny, with a mighty tap, cracked it open. Inside were 3 perfect sweet kernels. Sunny offered one to Rumble and one to Whiz. They munched happily, the taste even better because they shared. From that day on, Sunny learned that sharing wasn't losing something, but gaining so much more. Laughter, friendship, and the sweetest tastes of all. Spring wind. In a green valley where Zephyr and the whispering wind. In a green valley where fluffy sheep grazed lived a young shepherd named Zephyr. He was supposed to watch the sheep, but sometimes he found it a bit boring. One sunny afternoon, a mischievous idea popped into his head. "What if I made things exciting?" he thought with a grin. He took a deep breath and shouted, "Woof! Woof! A big, gray wolf is coming!" His voice echoed through the quiet valley. From the village below, Kind Grove, a farmer, heard his cry. He dropped his tools and rushed up the hill, ready to protect the sheep. But when Grove arrived, panting, there was no wolf, only Zephyr giggling. "It was just a joke," Zephyr said, wiping a tear of laughter. Grove sighed and shook his head. A few days later, Zephyr felt bored again. "Wolf! Wolf!" he cried, even louder this time. Pebble, a baker from the village, hurried up, flowers still on her apron. Again, no wolf, just Zephyr, laughing. Pebble frowned. "Zephyr," she said, "it's not funny to trick people." She walked back down, feeling disappointed. Then, one cloudy morning, a real, shadowy wolf crept from the forest. It sniffed the air, its eyes fixed on the sheep. "Wolf! Wolf!" Zephyr screamed. truly afraid. Grove and Pebble heard his cries. They looked at each other. "He's just joking again," Grove said sadly. "We can't fall for it this time," Pebble agreed. Zephyr watched the wolf chase his sheep, feeling a deep sadness. He learned that day that trust, once broken, is very hard to mend. From then on, Zephyr always told the truth, no matter what. The Ant and the Grasshopper. In a sunny meadow lived a tiny ant named Pip. While others played, Pip was always busy, busy, busy. Nearby, Fiddle the Grasshopper loved to sing and dance. "Why work, dear Pip?" he'd chirp. "The sun is shining. Let's play." But Pip just smiled and kept going. "Winter is coming, Fiddle," he'd say. "I must store food for the cold days ahead." Fiddle would just laugh, strumming his fiddle. "Winter? That's ages away. There's plenty of time for work later." Days turned into weeks. The sun grew weaker, and the green leaves began to turn golden and red. Pip's pantry was now full of delicious seeds and crumbs, neatly stacked. Fiddle, however, was still singing his songs. One morning, a chilly wind blew, and tiny snowflakes began to fall. Winter had arrived. Fiddle shivered. His tummy rumbled. There was no food to be found, and his wings were too cold to play his fiddle. With a heavy heart, Fiddle hopped to Pip's cozy home. "Oh, Pip," he whispered, "I'm so cold and hungry." Pip, being kind, shared his warm food. "See, Fiddle," he said gently, "planning ahead and working hard, make sure we are safe and warm." Fiddle nodded, feeling grateful and a little bit silly. He promised to work hard next summer. And from that day on, both Pip and Fiddle worked hard and played hard, always remembering to prepare for tomorrow. King Midas and the Golden Touch. In a land of sunshine and grand palaces lived a king named Midas. More than anything in the world, King Midas loved gold. He spent his days in his vast treasury, counting every coin and admiring every glittering piece. "If only everything I touched turned to gold," he often wished. One evening, as Midas was admiring his treasure, a shimmering, mysterious figure named Silas suddenly appeared before him. "You have a deep love for gold, King Midas," Silas said with a gentle smile. "I grant you one wish." "What shall it be?" Midas, without a moment's hesitation, wished for the golden touch. The next morning, Midas awoke with a thrill. He touched his bedpost, and poof, it turned into solid, gleaming gold. He laughed with delight. He rushed into his garden, touching a beautiful red rose. Instantly, it became a cold, hard, golden flower. A tiny frown creased his brow. Just then, his beloved daughter, Marigold, skipped into the garden, her laughter like tinkling bells. She held a basket of freshly picked flowers. "Good morning, Papa," she chirped, reaching out for a hug. Midas embraced her, but to his horror, his precious Marigold began to turn into a golden statue in his arms. Tears streamed down King Midas's face as he looked at his golden daughter. His heart ached. "Oh, Silas," he cried out, "please take back this terrible gift." Silas reappeared, looking kindly at the weeping king. "Go to the river Pactolus," he instructed. "Wash yourself in its waters, and the golden touch will leave you." Midas rushed to the river and plunged his hands into the cool water. As he washed, a shimmering golden mist rose from the river, and the touch left him. The river sparkled with gold. He hurried back to Marigold, sprinkling the river water on her. Slowly, wonderfully, she returned to life, her warm embrace 1,000 times more precious than any gold. From that day on, King Midas cherished what truly mattered: